is what they did. They took the head of a recently deceased body, set it on the table, put a microphone through where the ear was, and put a tube through its mouth to catch the vibration of what was being said or how it was being said through that tube, through the mouth. They were looking to see if they could pick up what they hear compared to what the vibration said. At that time, that began what they called the spirit box, the ghost box. That was the very first ghost box. I'm going to let y'all know today, I have 22 years of paranormal experience as far as parapsychology, sociology, and in-field experience. I am by no means a specialist. I do not hold any degrees. I just have a wealth of knowledge and I love to teach people. So I like to talk about it. That's where my process is. Theories and understanding of what we know. Let's talk about black mass. Has anyone in this room encountered a black mass that they perceived? Everybody. Very good. What was your perception on the black mass? Guys, what did y'all say?
I believe what I see.
Yeah.
Well, this was in Suffolk, Virginia. I was in a museum. I was walking up the stairs, and there was just spiral staircases. I was on the second. I walked up to the third. I turned around. I saw a black image of a person sitting in the doorway. And I was like, "Ain't no damn way I saw this, right?" So I walked back down to the second floor and came back up. It was still there. And this time he kneeled his head down. He had on a great big cavalry hat.
So it was a change in the black man.
Yeah. And as soon as I went after him with the camera, darted right through the wall.
There you go. Actual move. I'm going to get to you on that because I have something for you on that one too. Ladies, what did y'all say?
So when I hear in the depot.
Oh, actually here? Excellent. What did it look like or what did it do?
It darted in between us the first time.
Okay.
And then it was almost like it was pacing back and forth and then ran out.
Wow. That's good. Ash, have you ever seen a black mass?
Well, I'm kind of blind in the dark type of thing because so I see them all over the place because my eyes fade in and out.
That's why I can't do that. There's several different things that take effect. Sometimes it is what we perceive black mass. Other times, there's two other theories. There's a scientist back in 1939 who started with the theory of maybe it's in our mind. So he started doing research into it. When he started to find out, he came up with the plausible theory. Our mind projects images outwards, and some of the events that we've seen in the past are actually projected in a black image from our retina to a distance. I'm not saying that's what it was, y'all, but I'm giving you theory. The second one is a lot of epileptic symptoms is what they call blacking hole. What happens is a black mass will be seen in the middle. So all around you is normal. So wherever you look, it may look like that mass is moving. Hence, mass. It did not have shape, did not have form, but it had mass. Okay? Going into the black mass theory, did a little bit more research. Come to find out, connected with this theory of black mass is also something that takes place, what they say in paranormal encounters and UFO encounters. It's what's called time delay. Delaying in the warping of the factor. Okay? This is when they say, oh man, it went 30 minutes, or where did that 15, where did that 10 minutes go? Where did it go? Well, it plays into it. Is that black mass a void? Is it something that you're walking into? Is it something that you're encountering? Is it having a negative effect on you? This is something that I want everyone to think about. Take the objective thought. Don't just think the terminology black mass. There is something more to that black mass. You got to be negative or positive. Majority of the time, black mass, we connect to it to negative. It's not negative. It could be a void in the time continuum. Does anyone in the room know about quantum physics? Cool. It's alright. Yeah, I know you do.
know it exists, but...
Right. It's alright. Quantum physics deals with 22 to 26,000 different types of theories. But the most that I deal with, and my sister Misty deal with, are what they call a timeline quantum theory tools. Lining and lining. We all at any one point have connected to each other. Hence, example. Kim, what did I say to you today? That you look familiar. That I know you from somewhere. At some point, in theory, quantum takes effect. I've met Misty. I know Ashley. I know them from a year ago, but I met them at some other point. That's where quantum lining comes into play. Why do I go there with the quantum? Because in the vortex, there is a discrepancy in black matter. That's my theory. Something is gone. Something is missing. Or time warp. That's where you get your loss of time. Does anybody have any questions? Okay. Let me talk on the next step. This is a sensitive subject it's come to in the last, let's say, 5 years. Orbs. There's so many discrepancy in orbs, it's not even funny. I will never sit here and I will never say no, and I will never say yes. My personal belief, if I didn't see it, it's not an orb. Have I seen an orb? Yes, I have. I've seen orbs. 2, same color, both purple in shape, one much larger than the other. The first one was 7 years ago. About the size of a basketball. They went across a battlefield. The second one was over top of my brother's head. Just like that. I haven't seen one since. But where does that play? Everybody wants to see it on camera. See the picture. That's an orb. Hold on. Let me urge you to do so. Go home. Get everything you can think of. Put it on the table. Salt, baby powders, water droplets from a spritzler, anything you can think of, put it on the table. Do this for your team as your personal experience. Throw it up in the air and start taking pictures. Because you're going to utilize that as your catalog to what you're seeing on the picture. Dust has a different look. Pollen has a different look. Pollen is actually spiky around the ends. Water is around physical. Usually has what they call a fluorescent, and I'm trying to think of the best word to use, a spiral in the middle. So it actually has kind of like a wavy tone to it. You also have dust. Dust is going to be perceived as something another point. It is different and it takes different shapes. I urge you, do your own science on it. You get your own thoughts. Because I cannot tell you what you think. You can do your science, do your research, and go, hey, maybe Howie had a point. He could put in and take a picture and go, look what I got. But if you see that orb, you can't deny it. Nobody can deny when you're in the field, nobody can deny what you saw because they were not there. Remember that. Because we're going to be disputed no matter what we do for the rest of our lives as long as we do this. This person will be like, you're wrong. This person will be like, hey, you're right. Well, you're both wrong, you're both right. Because you weren't there. You didn't experience what we experienced. You didn't feel what we felt. But you know what's out there and what's been said. Here's something that we're getting into now. Molecular structure change. Misty, if I may. Me and my sister had a big discussion. It was really good. And she opened my mind to something to think about. On her case, she brought something forward. Then after she spoke with me, my XO came and said, hey Howie, how is this possible? Okay. Have you all experienced the factor of a client or a picture or someone being scratched on their skin, pinched, cut, bruised, warm? Anybody? Okay. Here's the point. This was our huddle, if you would. How is it, or could it be, the molecular structure could take place with one item going to another place? I said, absolutely. Now, let me define that because I've had some time to research this idea. This is going along with scratches. So I'll let y'all know this all has a common theme. The ability hooks itself, again, to black mass. Does a spirit, entity, however however you would like to call it, have the ability to manipulate our clothes, our thoughts, our items to do something with it. My theory is in the last period of time, yes. There's symptoms that will take place. Colding of the left arm or colding of the right arm. And it's usually not a chill. It's usually a freezing cold. When that takes place, from what I've come to understand, that part of your body is being taken to another plane, if you will, however you want to look at it. And that basically arm or limb is dead. There's nothing going on. It's not even there technically. Physically it's there, but mentally it's not. So, where does that take you to? That's taking you to back to quantum physics. Unfortunately, folks, my photos got manipulated, so we weren't able to use them, but I can easily show you how quantum physics and molecular structure can take place. If it's a demon, and a negative demon takes place, they have the ability to take you out, to move you to one channel to another. Why not the body part? If that body part takes place, can they change something else? Yeah, absolutely. If they have the physical ability to scratch you, they have the physical ability to manipulate that item, tear the molecules apart, rebuild that molecule, pull it through, set it down, rip it up, break it up, burn it, shred it, however you think. Do not let it confuse you. It's part of the manipulation. So proceed. It's also a factor of scary. But this is theory. Remember, everything we're talking about is theory. Here's another example of just that. You get scratched. Your client gets scratched through their clothes. Okay, can anybody answer this one thing for me? How did they get scratched? And there's no mark on their clothes. Anybody?